Hey guys, how's it going? Go see Richard today. And today I bought a new gimbal for the camera. I want to be able to do some way better, smoother B-roll for you. I do everything by hand, as you know. So I seen this and it was for such a good deal, I just had to do it. So let's take a look at what we got into. I got this for a wicked deal because there's a newer version out now. And to tell you the truth, I didn't need the newest version. I just needed one that's going to work. So I ended up getting this for a wicked deal. And so let's see what's in here. Got some nice little attachments. We've got a hot shoe. We've got another hot shoe. We've got cables, tons and tons of cables. I'm guessing so this can plug into your camera because I believe you can do photo shooting and stuff from here. Mika! What are you doing? She's chewing on a bone. Anyways. If we take a look here, we've got the hot shoe plate right here. This must be for balancing and holding different items. So we'll take a quick look at this afterwards. I just want to take a look. Yeah, that's what I deal with every single day. Anyways, so as you can see, this is the gimbal piece right here. Let's see if I can get it out of here with one hand. The one-handed slammer, Richard. Come on, take a look at that. Holy smokes. She's got a nice feel to her already. So I can do this without, bonking anything up. Why don't we just go ahead and put this on here? Oh, look at that. It already looks like it has a hot shoe plate on it. So we've got multiple hot shoe plates, probably so you can do two different camera setups, I'm guessing. Also, I've got to read into it. Like I said, just opening this up. Let's go ahead and screw this on so that way I can just set it up on the table for you. And we can take a quick look. Ta-da! Move the box back. There she is. I do like that tripod. That's going to be handy. So that way I can actually set it up on the ground and it'll stabilize. Isn't that right? All of a sudden you're more interested in it than, I am. I love having it. Let's go ahead and flip this up. So it just sits like this and clips in. Whoa, took me a second. I was like, what is going on here? Okay, so that flips and I guess we just tighten this in. Perfect. It looks like it's got a couple more piece holders on the side. See, I've got to figure all this out. This is actually kind of interesting to me. Oh, it's a guard. I see. This is so you can't hit buttons by accident, I'm guessing. Ta-da! Let's see. Does that slide off? That slides off. It's a protective cover. So, remember how we locked that in? Just make sure that yours is locked. The next thing you can go ahead and do if you'd like is flip this to unlock because we need to unlock all of our locks on all of these. So there's 1, 2, and a third one right here. Now we're completely unlocked and this can move. It locks up nicely though for when you're in storage mode, so make sure you do that. Then the next thing, after you do all that, we can go ahead and power it on. Now to power it on, there's the power button. I'm gonna actually put this down for a second so that way the little schnoot can do it too. Just click and hold power. DJI is going up. Oh, look at that. Hey, how's it going? English, can I just click that or do I have to click this? Or maybe it's a trigger button on the other side. See, you got this pan and zoom. I'm just trying to see, can I actually click the joystick? Well then, that's fun. If I can figure out how to make it work. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, look at that. There we go. I can scroll through here. So we go up and click on there. So that wheel on the side, you can scroll down, scroll up, and then you click to select on the side. Connect DJI to Ronin to activate. So we have to go on our phones, download the DJI Ronin app, and follow the instructions on there. First thing that you're going to need is your hot shoe. You're going to go ahead, put that onto here. Then you're gonna see which screw is yours. It's probably this one for me. Let's actually double check. Do not strip yours out. Just kind of hand thread it on and make sure she hand threads in. And if she doesn't, like this one is not, let's see, we'll get one there. See, buttery smooth. If it's not buttery smooth, do not do it. This is a quick removing one. If you're not worried about being able to remove it quickly, go ahead and just use the screw. You can just screw it in rather than having the quick removal. I prefer having quick removal. Anyway, let's go ahead and see if I can screw it through the plate here. I'm guessing they do that so that way there's no chance of it ever coming out. I'm fine with that. So go ahead, make sure you don't strip it and just tighten it into here. Make sure this stays vertical and in line. So you want to try and leave this just like that. Perfect. And then tighten it up and then flip it down. And like I said, you want this nice and tight. Don't strip it, just keep it nice and tight. Okay, now that we have that mounted, we can go ahead and grab the long plate. Now I've quickly put this on here because I was playing around with it. So I'm gonna quickly take this off. There we go. And what you're gonna wanna do is just slide this one in and we want it to lock in. So slide it on just like that and then lock it in by folding this down and through. All right, now that we know that's locked, now we can distinguish if we need that lens holder. So what you can do if you want to add more support, you don't have to do this, but you can. You could throw this on here, and I'm going to do this because just in case I ever get a longer lens or change lenses, it's just going to allow for you to have a little bit more support. Now you don't have to. Like let's say if you're just using a nifty 50, you could probably almost just clip this onto the hot shoe. But again, because of what we're doing here, I'm just going to still see if I can get this up and in here, tighten this in, and if I can, just a little bit more support for the lens. And again, this is just for support. You don't want it to mess with anything too much. There we go. So if my lens was a little longer, it would be a little different, but no. I'm gonna just hold it off that little shade right there. So as you can see, we are completely held on now. You should be able to move this around and it should stay. And as you can see, we are locked on there. So make sure that stays locked. Okay, now that we know that that is locked in, let's go ahead and clip this onto the hot shoe. All right, you're gonna notice this slides up and down through here. What you can do for right now is we're just gonna lock this in right here at the farthest point out. And the reason why, then we know that the camera body is going to fit. Otherwise, you might run into some camera body problems throughout it. Anyways, go ahead, slide that into the shoe just like that. I can't do it without my other hand free. Let's go ahead and show you how to balance this thing. First thing, lock here. Make sure that one's locked. Next one that we need to lock is, see how this one's open? Put this one to locked. Wait, there it is. Now it's locked. This one should be free flowing. Make sure this screw is unlocked. And what we need to do is make sure that this is 100% balanced so that lens is aiming up. So let's see if we can get this any better. It's doing pretty good, but I could probably get it. Now it's a little bit too much the other way. Let's see. We're getting there. It's almost where I want it. I'm just sliding that along. Actually, you know what? That's pretty darn good right there. Oh yeah. So, like I said, you're just sliding this bar in and out. Make sure this one's locked, this is locked, and your tripod's tight, so that way it's not trying to fight you on the way through. So take a look at that. Perfect. Now that we've got that one panned out, let's go ahead and tighten that in. And once you've locked that in, we're doing good. Make sure your battery is in here, your memory card's in here. That way you're making sure that you're getting proper balance all the time. Figured I would show you the importance of making sure all your accessories are on. I always shoot with a microphone on. There's a 9-volt battery in there, makes it extremely heavy. So again, I would just take this off. And if you don't use accessories all the time, just make sure when you're using your gimbal, you redo this so that way you can balance for the accessory that's bolted on. Because if you're not balanced, again, it's gonna drain your battery faster. It can burn out the motors, just blah, blah, blah. Just try your best to keep this thing as balanced as possible for longevity reasons. Look at that, we're back to being balanced. Since I know I keep a microphone on there 99% of the time, I'm going to leave that on there and we're gonna lock this back in. Anyways, just wanted to show you the importance of accessories. Look at that, it's showing us where we can plug our different cameras into our gimbal, which we will do later. Let's not go into that right now. Now we need to do a full 360. So take that, wing it out, and just like this. Okay, now lock this one so it's locked again. Actually, let's see. I want to lock it up here if I can. There. Look at how much that's out. Okay, perfect. Unscrew here. All right, start sliding this in. Like I said, I just slid it over here. That way I have a tiny bit of gap, not much. And then what you do is you balance it here. So again, how you slide it on there again is that lock lever that is actually on the opposite side right there. So you flip that so it's unlocked. You can slide the camera as close as you can, and I don't expect it to stay there while I'm bonking it. But like I said, just balance it so it's just like that. And again, lock that one after you get it as close as you can to there. And then after we slide this, we can tie this screw back in. So now that we have our camera sitting in this position, we've got this semi-balanced back here, but I'm gonna end up rebalancing it. I just wanted to get this pretty darn close. The next thing we need to do is our forward and backward. Now, we probably are gonna have to loosen this off again to slide it away from the body, depending on how your balance is. If you have a bigger lens, it's gonna sit farther back. If you have a shorter lens like me, it's gonna sit more forward because of the weight of the camera being right here with the battery, and also a couple other fun measurements that we're gonna have to take into account. So the first thing you do is unlock again this one. And the reason why is because if you're like me, we're gonna have to slide this over so our battery pack can just slide by there, because the next thing you're gonna do is unlock this guy right here. We're not gonna adjust it, but what we need to do is, well, unlock it. Look at this. See how we are sitting so far back now? What we gotta do is unlock this lever right here. So just slide this open like this. Oh, perfect. And what we need to do, balance this one next. All right, right about, look at that. Maybe play with it a little bit, but that's looking pretty good right there. So even with this, it has to sit so close. But if you had a longer lens, what would happen, like I said, is the glass would add more weight to the front, so you'd be able to center it better. Anyways, maybe that's just me saying I need new lenses. But again, just why I'm also mentioning that is because if you go and buy new glass for your camera, or you do interchange lenses, just keep in mind you need to redo this every time you switch lenses, because otherwise it's going to be off. Anyways, that's why I'm reshooting and showing you this part. Not quite. And I probably, there we go. Let's see. If I put it right here, if I put it right here, oh, maybe a little bit. See, it's just a circus act. Right there, Okay. I kind of like that. I'll probably play with it a little more. Once you're done this, lock it in and then slide this, like I said, as close as you can to there. I'll give you another example of that in a second. So like I said, just a little bit off of here, like right there, because you need this to clear there if this rotates or has to do anything, which it shouldn't have to ever rotate on that axis. So you should be able to actually bring that in, like right to there. Well, maybe mine will just allow it. Anyways, like I said, just bring it in as close as you can. After you do that, go ahead and lock it in. So now that we've got that balanced and this is locked all the way in, remember, slide this as close as you can to over there. Now that we've got that lined up, we can go to the last little one down over here and lock in that one right there. Let's go ahead and lock this. There we go. Now that one's locked in and we're good to go. Now we have to unlock this one right here. Just remember to lock in each of them as you set them. There we go. And look at that. See how it's twisting? Perfect. Go ahead here. And let's balance this last one. Oh, too much. Too much. Almost. Ooh. Let's see. That's not bad. So if I put it right in the center, oh, maybe just a little bit this way. Darn. That's pretty darn good. Do I dare? I'm just doing little increments now. You know what? It's holding really, really well. If I put it right here, what happens? Yeah, it holds right there. Holds, yeah. That's what I like to do. Don't just balance it a little bit. Balance it so it does it on more than one axis. Because if you get it on more than one axis, you're doing good. All right, and I think we're looking pretty balanced. I think the only last one that we might have to do is the in and out, but let's take a quick... We're almost there. Go ahead, unlock. After you've unlocked it, make sure all the other axes are locked like so. And then go ahead and loosen this one. Just be very careful because it's going to be nice and slippery. What you're going to need to do is pick this up. Now notice how it's sitting. See how we're straight? Oh, look at that. See how it rotated? Perfect. So it rotated to the left. So we need to push this out. Now let's see what happens. See how it's still trying. Oh, actually it's doing pretty good. What we'll do is we'll recenter it. We'll lock this in just a little bit. Just so that way we can get a proper reading. Rotate this so it's in line with you. Pick it up. Rotate this a little bit. Is it rotating to the left or right? Ooh, just a little bit. Just a little bit when moving your arm. So that tells us that once again, might need to just operate this just a little bit more this way. Let's see. Are we going to be too much now? We're going to go to the right. No, it's still wanting to go to the left, just a little bit, not much. See how I'm moving it and that screw is still trying to push to the left? So let's try and adjust it. Oh, that's probably too much, but let's see. I want to see it too much. Yeah, see how now it's moving to the right? It's going to the wrong side, perfect. So now we know we're too much this way. So if it's rotating that way, we slide it in just a wee bit. There. Probably more than a wee there, but anyways. The reason why I tighten the screw on this one is because this slides really easily. So you'll be trying to set this and it won't let you. All right, let's see. See, it's doing it again to the other way. So now we know, like I said, it's just that balancing process. That was way too much. Let's try right here, just for the heck of it. That's that one bar. It's the first bar. And I had it last time at the second bar. Now it's a little bit to the right, but we'll go back to the left if I do this. No, okay. So we're somewhere halfway, for my circumstance, in between the front and the back bar. So a little bit more. And we slid it in. Is it going to continue to move right? You know what? It's going left and right now. Let's see. I think that's pretty good. This is trying to stay to the right. So if I put this down, you know what? I could just slide just a little bit more forward again. Anyways, that's your balancing process. So after we do that, we can start to play. So depending on the camera that you have, select the one. My Sony here uses a micro USB, so I'm gonna go ahead and plug in the micro USB. So just pull this off of here and plug it in. So cool thing, if you have a Sony, there's actually a specialty cable for you, just like mine has. It's a Sony Mini to USB-C, which goes right here. Because if you take a look, there is two different ones. And let's see if we can actually get the Sony Mini in here. Yeah, it'll slip. So we're gonna slide that into there. And then again, we'll feed it around and plug it in down over here. So I've gone ahead, I've plugged it in here, and look at this. It's showing it out here. I wanna see if I press this, will it do anything? Oh, look at that. Aha. Long press starts recording. Now what if I do a short press? Oh, still does it. Awesome. So it is working. Oh, that's gonna be great. So that way you can record from the grip. You don't have to mess with the motors by playing with that for recording. One thing I do wish I would have done when I built this setup, if you have an STM lens or one that will allow you to do not autofocus, but zoom, like electronic zoom. Mine doesn't. Mine's manual zoom because I bought a Zeiss lens. If I would have gotten the one where you could do it digitally, that would have been great because you can do zooming through here. It's actually on the front, sorry, right here. So you can do zoom right here. So once again, let's go ahead and we'll play a little bit. First thing we have to do, I believe, is click and hold this. And we need to auto tune. See how we're scrolling? So auto tune. Oh, you can turn on super smooth. Let's just hit start. It's calibrating. Oh yeah. I guess before you do this process, make sure you unlock all of your axes. So I'm going to unlock this one and unlock this one. Okay, that one's unlocked. Make sure that this one is unlocked. There. Okay. Now that we've done that, let's go back and click on here. Start. And it'll go ahead and shake itself. Perfect. It is complete. So now that we've done that, we can go back, which is right there. Joystick, front dial, advanced. I'm not gonna play too much with this. I'm guessing this is so we can adjust certain things. Yeah, look at this. Woo! Holy smokes. Houston, we're doing awesome. Okay, so from right here, we can go ahead, look at these different ones. You can set these buttons if you so wish. And then we have our different FPV modes now. Can I select that here or how am I selecting that? Let's see. Oh, there we go, the follow mode. So you can see we're on FPV mode, PTF and PF. So one is pan and then forward tilt, I believe, and then one's tilt axis, and yeah. Let's go right to the manual and I'll read it out to you what each one does. There we go. So, pan follow, meaning it'll only rotate to follow the object. It's not gonna move up and down, it's not gonna rotate side to side, or roll, I guess. And then the other option, which is PTF, that one will do pan and tilt. So it'll tilt down, tilt up, and it'll turn, turn. But it won't roll. And that's what FPV is. It does this, this, and it does the 3-axis or whatever axis gimbal. So chances are you're gonna leave it in FPV for most of its life. Next thing, let's take a look at some of these buttons. So you've got your manual button right here. I'm pretty sure that's one of the ones that you can program up and do whatever you would like with. Yes, so that's a select user profile. If you go ahead and you hold it, you enter a sports mode. Press and hold the trigger twice to remain in sports mode. Repeat to exit sports mode. Quick tab to enter portrait mode. So yeah, there we go. There's a couple different options you can play with there. And then there's also another really fun one. Where was that button? Well, yes, the front dial is for focus. So if you don't have it on autofocus, you can focus out and do all that other fun stuff with the front dial, which is this one right here. Yeah, that's the one right there. Or is it this one? Let's see. Oh yeah, see? This option is not available when in raw quality. Okay. Anyways, so now that we've gone ahead and we've played a little bit with that, what is it? Oh yes, the trigger button. That's the one I wanted to see. So, trigger button is where on this one? I'm just checking. Oh, there it is. Let's see if it's this one. 1, 2, 3. Selfie mode. I didn't see a way to throw it back, so I just used the joystick. Anyways, like I said, I'm just gonna quickly set this up onto FPV, which is what it is, and you can set your own later if you'd like. Let's go back. Let's actually try and use this thing for a second. So, let's play a little bit with Mika. Let's bring it down. I wanna aim it at her. Okay. Mika, you gonna follow me? You coming? Not the best subject to try. All right. Maybe I'll quickly take a look and see how she turned out. There's that Mika clip. She's looking at me and then she's like, hey, I can do that. Still, it's super smooth. No judders, no nothing. I'll have to play with it more. It keeps popping up different messages depending on the settings that it's saying that certain operations aren't available even when I'm not trying to hit any buttons. But other than that, what do I think of it? I think it's cool. I've been playing with a couple of modes. I'm checking it out. It does try to bind up sometimes on the microphone. That's to be expected though because of the size of it. And they're probably not anticipating it. But to tell you the truth, after I get through all the programming steps, it's fine. It is smooth. It is buttery smooth. And depending on what mode you use, it's perfect. Does great for the subject tracking for when you set it up on all of them. And if you only set it up so that way it keeps the horizontal horizon, and as you're working it like this, it does such a good job. I cannot complain. And I mean, the record buttons work. What more could you ask for? Well, they work if you, of course, are in the right mode. Right now, it's saying that it doesn't like my my movie mode because I have it in slow-mo. Give me 1 second. So like I said, we can go ahead here. I can come up. I might as well show you guys. And all I'm doing is hitting the record. It's doing the goofy thing again. So sometimes, depending, when you load this up, I have to unplug it and replug it into the camera. Oh, also, you can't mess with it, otherwise the gimbal gets angry. So after you go ahead and replug it in, boom, your camera will pop up on here, which means it's connected. And we can go ahead and aim it. Let's say we're gonna zoom and keep it right here. Look at that, you can already see it holding it. And I can do that smooth as butter. Look at how good that's staying. Just like that. And even if I go down and up, it's holding it. And if we click on here, you can see buttery smooth. And again, you're probably gonna do different shots in this. Heck, you're probably gonna use it for slow-mo. But I just wanted to show you exactly what it was gonna look like. Anyways, would I buy this product if I knew what I knew now? Yeah, I would. Especially since I got such a wicked deal on this one. I seen that the No. 3 version, because this is version 2. Version 3 is a little bit more money. But to tell you the truth, if you can grab yourself a version 2 for a really good price and you got strong forearms, this should be good. But if you are not wanting to pick something up that's super heavy, you might want to look for a carbon fiber newer version, because then you save a lot of weight, because this is going to add a lot of weight to your camera. Just something for you to keep in mind. Other than that, thanks again for watching. Press like if this helped you out. Of course, there's going to be more videos, so make sure you go and watch more videos on this before purchasing it. It's always good to buy something after watching 3 or 4 videos, more than one anyway. Anyways, if you want to see, watch for future videos, and I'm sure you're going to see some footage with me using this. One last thing to remind you to do. At the end of each use, when you power it down, I would suggest to save your motors, put them all into lock position, and then just wind them until they lock. You'll feel it lock. And then you can go ahead and charge it up, offload your footage, do whatever you got to do. And of course, you can put it back in storage mode if you're going to do that. But for me, I'll probably never really have it in storage mode. Probably leave it somewhat like this, all locked up.